Ain't nobody like pain.
Ain't nobody like it.
Ain't nobody like it at all.
So why did God make pain then? That and more on today's episode of JXN Cloud. Alright, now we are going to be playing Monikers. Okay, so here's how the game works. It's kind of like many other games we played where you gotta guess what's on the card, but we do it 3 different times. The first time, you can say whatever you want to get the people to guess on the card. That's a pretty normal game.
But you can't use any emotions. You can only talk.
Sure. And then the second time, you can only use one word. And the reason you can only use one word is because we've all heard these cards before, so we're a little more acquainted with them. Mm-hmm. And then the third time,
charades, right?
Charades for the third time. And then the fourth time, which is what we've added in.
You close your eyes and make a sound.
Yes, so the person doing it makes a sound to try to get everyone to guess what it is. It
cannot be a word, it has to be a sound.
Yes, and you'd be surprised just how coherent that somehow is. So I'm just going to give you guys a block of cards since we're all here. Whatever.
Are we just going to throw cards away that we decide not to use and then...
Well, just give me back the ones you're not going to use. So keep, let's say, everybody keep 6. All right, next we're going to take the cards, mix them all together. Usually you play on a team, whoever gets the most points wins. Every card's worth a different amount of points because some are harder to guess than others. But for house rules, given that there's 3 of us, we're just going to have fun each time and not go for the points, but show you how this looks as we keep advancing into new rounds. So, with that being said, I've mixed all the cards together. Olivia's going to know 6 of them. I'm going to know what my 6 are when they show up. He'll know his 6.
Wait, I was supposed to remember those?
Well, you might when she tries to start explaining. So, let's do it. Oh yeah, 1 minute, ready, go.
Okay, the first president in the United States.
George Washington. History buff.
Black and white, cute creature with a cold.
Sneezing panda.
And that's how you know that was Jamin's card.
It's true.
I'm like, what?
Played Captain Kirk.
William Shatner.
And that's how you know it was his card.
A character from Winnie the Pooh. He's
Tigger.
the smart one.
The owl.
Mr. Owl.
Yes.
You're supposed to...
She's too young. She doesn't know.
Oh, I can't. Okay. He cooks. He's from the Muppets. And he has a funny...
Swedish chef. That's what you're supposed to do.
Newspaper headline that comes from a certain southern state.
And time. We didn't get that one, so just put it back in. We know what cards are in here now, a few of them. I will continue taking us through what's left.
I get all the hard ones.
Because she'll know what those hard ones were by then.
Well, not really. I didn't skip any.
Well, you'll have whatever we've skipped by then. Okay, here we go. 1 minute.
Like I said, the hard ones.
Go. Stupid robot that does all your remembering things incorrectly.
Siri.
Yeah. Someone who goes to a Comic-Con wearing...
Cosplayer!
Giant whale jumping over a kid.
Free Willy.
Ow, my heel.
Achilles.
Big man upstairs.
God.
A reptilian creature trying to get across the street video game.
Frogger.
It's a board game. People love it. Everybody knows it.
Monopoly?
No.
Clue?
No. Trading wood and wheat.
Oh, Catan!
Right.
Settlers of Catan.
But this is a specific person in the Settlers.
The one when you roll a 7, right?
Oh, the robber.
That's the robber from the Settlers of Catan.
Guy who made chicken from Kentucky.
Colonel Sanders.
Okay. And that was a minute.
Ready?
1 minute.
And go. So, young savior born in Bethlehem.
Baby Jesus.
This is something that a lot of people like to beat when the conversation...
A dead horse. These are both my cards, sorry.
Someone who believes in nothing.
Nihilist.
So Star Trek, some would say they had a wrath of him.
Khan.
Yes.
Khan.
And this is the very weird things happen with this person in a certain state down in...
The Florida Man.
And that's it.
All right. 40
Only
seconds.
40 seconds.
Good job. Good job. Who's this Florida man?
That was...
Florida Man.
I didn't put that in there, but that's the one that I drew and tried to explain right when my time went up.
Disguises himself as the sun.
The Florida Man?
Steals
Florida Man
the
gets
logo
arrested for
towel.
pooping in a Walmart.
Right,
Florida
it's-
Man, blah, 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 blah. Because
so
they
just
can't... They're not allowed to put names, so there's just so many
Florida
articles
Man.
of Florida Man.
They can't do names?
Yeah, they're not allowed to in Florida.
Oh, okay.
So it's Florida Man, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
So
it's not the
become-
same man.
This explains
It's
so many
just-
jokes I've heard that I never understood. Okay, now we play it
One
where
word.
you only
word.
get to say
One
one
word.
word. Olivia is first.
What? She gets to start?
She gets to start. Ready, go.
Chew.
Sneezing baby panda.
Panda, yeah.
What?
Ooh, she skipped one. 2.
Ouch.
Achilles.
Hey.
Hi.
Florida Man.
What a wonderful time.
I don't
today.
know.
Yeah.
With hey, I
got
can't
nothing.
get that.
Food.
And Colonel Sanders. Well, then I'm out.
Me?
Colonel
Cosplayer.
Sanders?
Please.
God.
Baby Jesus.
Food.
Colonel Sanders. Baby Jesus. Florida man. Fine. All right. Some are out of the deck. Others are in. It is now my turn. Here we go.
That way the ones I get seen are shuffled in there, not all at once.
Excellent.
It's all mixed up again.
And go. President.
George Washington.
Right. Whale.
Free Willy.
Tootsie.
Swedish Chef?
No, this is Mr. Owl.
Oh, I get it now.
Trek.
William Shatner. Or Khan. Khan. Okay.
Animal.
Florida Man.
Sneezing Panda was already done. I don't remember.
Frogger.
Apple.
Siri.
Game.
Robert
from Catan.
Settlers of Catan.
State.
Florida Man.
Reptile.
Frogger.
Trek.
Khan.
And time. There are 4 cards left.
I always get just the leftovers.
You can go
Normally
first
it
next
goes
time.
multiple rounds with each thing.
Yeah, we're rocking through that.
We are rocking.
Look at all those cards. Look at all those
That was
cards.
mostly Jamin.
I only get 4.
Do it.
All right.
Ready, go.
Nothing.
Nihilism.
Nihilist.
Bethlehem.
Baby Jesus.
Beating.
Dead
Dead
horse.
Animal.
Cook.
Swedish
Swedish
chef.
Chef.
And time.
That was
We-
the one where I said food and you guys couldn't get it.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Swedish chef. Right. Okay. All right. We are now on to the third round. In this case, you charades it.
Yes.
So
Let's let Casey go first
Yeah.
since he's gotten cut short both
it's
times.
true. Both times. We'll even give you an extra half a minute.
Ooh, minute and 30.
Ready, go. Free Willy. Achilles heel.
Makes sense. Baby, Jesus.
Free,
Free
Willy.
Willy.
Colonel Sanders.
George Washington.
Yep.
What?
It was the powdered wig. Siri.
George Washington.
Dead horse.
Oh, chopping down it.
That's what I was thinking too. But William Shatner.
Frogger. Nihilist.
Karn. Khan.
Karn?
Sorry, it's a board game. Cosplayer.
How'd you?
Baby sneezing panda. Panda baby sneeze panda.
I do think sneezing is illegal in
Really?
this round. God. Swedish chef. Colonel Sanders.
And time.
All right.
Wow. If I can't do these 3 cards in this round, I give up. All right.
Swedish Chef?
No, we already had that one.
Oh.
I have no idea.
Florida. Yes!
Oh, Mr. Owl. Oh, the robber from Settlers of Catan. Boom.
Florida man. How are you supposed to act
I have
that
no
out?
idea,
I was
and I give you
"Whoa,
props."
weirdo. I don't
Yeah, that was
know.
the one I skipped. That was the one I skipped because I'm like, how do I do Florida?
Alligator to
I
get
could've done
Florida
that.
across,
That's-
and then
All right. Olivia's gone first both other times. Casey's going first. I'll start this one. And now, just for a fun round that we've added, this isn't in the original Monikers.
but you definitely should play this round.
Yes,
'cause
you
it's
should play.
interesting.
They have to close their eyes, and I just make noises. I can't. All right, here we go. Let's.
Okay.
Ready?
This is already going to be weird.
Go.
Swedish
Chef.
Chef.
Florida man?
Khan?
Uh-huh.
Wait, was it Florida man or Con?
It was Khan, I think.
Okay.
Ching, ching, ching.
George Washington? Robert? Robert?
God.
God.
Sneezing panda. Florida man?
Florida?
Uh-huh.
I love how that's the noise for Florida man now.
Siri?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Dead horse?
Beating a dead horse.
Uh-huh. Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Frogger.
And time. All
Nice.
right. Ready, go. Tootsie, Mr. Owl.
Mr. Owl.
Yes. Boop. Ah.
Robert.
Achilles heel?
The
Yeah.
robber from Settlers of Catan?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Achilles heel.
Achilles heel.
Yeah. Wah!
Baby Jesus.
Brrr.
Florida man?
That's what I
No.
was thinking.
George Washington.
Cosplayer, right?
No, okay, I'm just gonna. Mmm.
Colonel Sanders.
Yes.
Free Willy.
Yes. Okay, time's up.
What?
All right.
What?
That was supposed to be an axe noise, but I didn't know how.
Oh. All right.
And-
Ready and go.
Charlie Brown's teacher.
All right.
George Washington.
That's the next one, so I'm just going to go for it.
Oh my gosh.
Cosplayer?
Nihilist.
There it is.
Only because I saw the card.
Noise.
I think the only card left is cosplayer.
There it
I'm
is.
gonna say it.
I did cosplayer earlier with the shing, shing.
The sewing machine.
No, there is actually one
Once
left
I
still.
looked through the card, there's one left?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
William Shatner.
There it is.
How is
Another
that
time.
William Shatner?
I don't know, but I realized that
William
card hadn't come
Shatner
up yet.
would be.
I know, but I was trying to do Beam Me Up, Scotty, and
No,
I haven't even seen the movie.
you failed.
well, touche. We still got it. I'm taking it. All right.
All right, today we're going to talk about pain. Ain't nobody like it. Ain't nobody like it at all.
Ouch.
So, why does it exist? Why does a good God allow us to go through so much misery at times? Go.
Well, I feel like it didn't have to exist. We had the opportunity to live without pain, but we chose to see what it feels like by eating an apple. So.
And still choose what it feels like. Technically, it was just a fruit, and so it certainly must have been a mango because those are the worst.
Mangoes are great. If it was a bad fruit, it was probably pineapple.
It
Oh.
could have been both.
There's no way it was a pineapple.
Maybe it was just a pineapple mango tree. That
Pineapples don't even grow in that area.
on this tree they did.
What do you mean by that area?
I mean, the original Eden.
Atlantis. Where you headed?
The original Eden, but
Which is...
you can look it up.
This goes back to our conspiracy
theories.
theories episode. Yeah. So we choose pain. We continue to choose pain. What else? Why is there pain?
I mean, a lot of times it is actually a defense mechanism, whether it's a body defense mechanism so that you stop putting your hand on, a burning stove,
That's true.
or there's other times where, I mean, if you think about something that's broken, it kind of helps you to stop doing stuff to it so you're not causing more harm. But a lot of times bodily, it's a defense mechanism.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good point as to why God allows us to go through it. There's a quote from C.S. Lewis. I don't know if you've ever read his book, The Problem of Pain. But that's a really good book on pain, him kind of sorting through his own pain, trying to figure out why does it exist. If there's a good God who loves us and cares for us and doesn't want to see us hurting, then why pain? If he's a good and loving father, then why pain? Because not all pain is pain that we bring on ourselves sometimes, right?
Sometimes it's emotional pain from, like, losing someone you love.
Yeah. There's the pain of that, which we could say, we weren't supposed to die, so maybe we brought death on ourselves by eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But we might also say, like, sometimes people abuse another person. That person didn't bring pain on themselves. Someone else chose to inflict pain upon them. Those are especially the moments where, like, God, why would you let this happen to me? C.S. Lewis, though, had a quote that pain is God's megaphone to rouse a deaf world, which I think is a good way of kind of what Casey was saying, is like it gets your attention. It helps you recognize something's off here. And can you imagine? I mean, I at least remember a House episode, Dr. House, where
You're dating yourself a little bit there.
You don't know House?
I know what it is. I've just never watched it.
Well, there's an episode where there's this girl who can't feel anything, and so like she doesn't even know she has to go to the doctor. She like falls off of the second floor of the hospital or something. Is like not even aware of how it's affected her, things like that.
Wait, how can you not be aware of that?
Well, she's aware that she fell, but she doesn't feel pain or anything. Like, so you could get up and start walking and break your body even more because you're not aware that it's broken, Like, just because there is that condition, I think, where you're, right?
That might be made up for...
No, I don't think it was made up. People who can't feel pain. it's a rare condition in which a person cannot feel and has never felt physical pain. So it does exist. It is a thing. Like I remember I had one teacher who said she got struck by lightning, and after that happened, she couldn't taste anything. And I'm like, I can finally eat vegetables, like I don't have to taste how bad they are. But they're like, you don't
But then
understand.
you can't taste all the good stuff.
Yeah, but they also explain, that's good. So like, how do you know how good the good stuff is if you don't know the pain of
vegetables?
How do you know how good pizza is if you've never tasted how bad vegetables are?
There you go. There's
See, there you go. That's
so there's one
in the mind of
thing,
Jamin.
She said, yeah, it's all great. You can eat whatever you want, except, you drink spoiled milk and you have no idea that you drink spoiled milk. So, like, something's off when you can't feel pain.
Yeah.
This BBC says so many people have killed themselves by their late 20s by doing ridiculously dangerous things, not restrained by pain. Can you imagine how much destruction and chaos, like we talked about the other day, that we would bring into the world if we were completely oblivious of what chaos felt like?
Well, I mean, it reminds me of, I'm dating myself too a little bit. Remember Heroes? That season 1 where the cheerleader, could always automatically heal. And so, she started doing experiments because even though I think she could still semi-feel pain, there was no consequence to that pain.
Yeah.
And so, she started trying to do lots of different dismembering things to try to see how far her power worked. This is a superhero show.
Yeah.
And
a horror show, or
it was a superhero show.
I mean, there were horror elements.
Then the writer's strike happened, and these
killed
are probably
the show.
the
It was so
episodes that
sad.
came out after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so crazy things happen though when you can't feel pain. And actually, if you think of it that way, God seems to step in for ultimate judgment moments when people have gotten so hardened to the point that they no longer feel the pain. The oppressed sure do to an extreme, but the people committing the pain, when they get to the point of total acceptance of it, so Sodom and Gomorrah is so bad, new person walks into town, you would think of going to rape them as a community. That's a socially accepted pain to such a level where God's they're so hardened to it they don't even feel it. The people who walk in and are oppressed in this way, they're aware of it, but Sodom and Gomorrah isn't. The flood, the world's so bad and they're okay with it. They don't mind. They don't care, And you only have one guy who's kind of okay at that time, but otherwise it's just so bad. God's they don't feel the pain anymore. The oppressed do, but the people who are causing the oppression no longer have any.
They're oblivious.
Yeah, they don't care whatsoever. That's the level that sometimes humanity can get to. That's the level Revelation paints the world at the end of things. Is God's they no longer feel the pain. And even the plagues that he allows to happen, though, those are attempts to wake them up. It's the same with Pharaoh. Pharaoh, wake up, let my people go. Here's a sign that you need to let them go. You need to feel a little pain. You need to humble yourself. And he doesn't, over and over and over again. Revelation is borrowing from that story of Pharaoh when it talks about the world at the end of all things is, hey, world, let my people go. You can be saved too. You can come to Jesus. You can repent. You can leave all this behind. God releases plague or pain on the earth, not out of I'll kill you all, but he releases it as a wake up, feel the pain, understand, I can save you from this if you turn to me. So you see that all throughout the Bible of this, pain's not something we want. We would never want it, but imagine what the world would be without it, where we could do whatever we want and it would never turn us back towards order, right? We would just constantly de-evolve into chaos. So, yeah, more thoughts.
There's a part where, probably for the first week or so, not having pain would be kind of a lot of fun. Just because you would try all the stupid things that you've never tried because it would hurt or whatever. But yeah, I feel like it's better to have pain in the long run, just because it forces us to make better decisions.
That's the same thing with sin. Like, we don't want to say it, but let's be honest. Sin at first usually is enjoyable because we wouldn't do it if it wasn't, typically. And the longer you're stuck in it, the less enjoyable it becomes. And that pain that you start to feel from that sin is like, this was a bad idea. This was my own moment of taking that apple from the tree. And now I'm stuck eating it, and I don't want to, but I can't, and stop, and until finally it's ruining you, and you need that pain to get out of it. Otherwise, that just hedonistic enjoyment of sin would completely consume you, as it does to people. But just as we close out, I am surprised. There are some people I know who have gone through some pretty harsh judgment. I've got a friend who got a life sentence for a sexual addiction that just took over him entirely. And he got saved in prison after that and got free of his life sentence in like 3 years, I think, because his life so radically turned around.
Wow.
But like, that's an incredible testimony. But what's incredible to me is like he says he's glad he went to prison, and that's obviously not the story for everyone, because prison is not always made to fix you. It's made to make it worse a lot of times. But for him, that's where he found Jesus, and if he didn't have that moment, he'd still be headed down the same path. And so God provoked him, pricked him, made him aware of what was going on, and that was able to turn him. And I know other people with same extreme stories like that, where they all say the same thing. Like, I'm glad that happened. Otherwise, who knows, I might be dead by now. Or I've done something horrendous.
Right.
Or more horrendous, even. So those stories, people who have felt the most pain, that is a common story in their story. That God used that pain to turn their life around, that they wouldn't do it differently. They would have not chose to do that stuff in the first place, but given that they did, they are glad that they faced what they faced, because it fixed it. So I would say pain, as God would want it, is meant to bring us to redemption and salvation, meant to wake us up to what's wrong around us and turn us back towards Him and order and salvation and things like that. And when you look at pain in that light, as much as it sucks, it's a good thing. And the good news for Christians is, at the end of all things, pain is done away with. God wipes away every tear from our eye, and we are only left with good and better than that. So that's the beauty of the end. So we've all experienced pain in some way, but maybe your story can help someone else's.
Join us on the Discord and share that story with others.
And be sure to like, comment, subscribe down below.